Hey, everybody, welcome. welcome to 2026. Welcome to Inter National. Is your boy Valdez Brooks, host of this show that is focused on speaking with and having conversations more so with Trini's doing interesting things. Trini's representing the country. Trini's making their way outside of our shores. I have to thank, before we even start, we start on time. First time for the year. I think we deserve a little round of applause for that. Let's hope we could keep it up. I have to thank the people who have been our previous guests who have been on the show for the last, 7 episodes. You all have made, some of them made sacrifices in time and stuff to give us their time and to share little aspects of their life and their journey so far. And we appreciate it. We hope to split up the episodes and get some clips going and, keep some salient points echoing through social media and YouTube as well. We'll do some short things and cut them up. So that is for immediate plans. Thank you for all the people who have tuned in, whether live or otherwise, and given input and suggestions and, their thoughts and appreciation for the show. We appreciate that. I've noticed the conversations with people and to me saying the conversation has changed from, hey, congratulations on the show, boy, congratulations on the podcast, how it going, to, hey, congratulations on the show, I really like this episode when you talk to so. So I know that people actually watching the show, and we appreciate that. We appreciate the feedback. To the people who have donated to the Donate 68 campaign so far, thank you very much. You help us getting a little bit closer to getting this show and the station at the standard that we want to bring it to you, right? So continue to support us. We will continue to strive to bring you the content and the conversations and the music as far as our radio is concerned, the music and events and, thoughts and experiences that we think are important to share to our audience. So with that said, we have a show today. It's a bit of a juggling act. If any of you are here because of the last minute broadcast and IG posts, you would be aware that I'm a bit under the weather as we speak. I try not to spread too much things in the studio here, but we have an episode recorded. We have an interview recorded. Is one of my favorites so far. Is somebody who from the beginning of the idea is somebody who I wanted to talk to with regards to the idea of this show. So I'm real glad we got to do it before I got sick, but I really can't stay in the studio too long. So we'll just take a quick break, Trev, and just go to the interview. In the time that we have in the break, go and grab a snack, grab a drink, because we diving deep into some things here. This person coming up, like I say, is a good friend of mine, but he's somebody with intimate knowledge of the music industry, and especially as it comes to carnival and soca. As far as he was involved in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s in Trinidad. So there's a lot of information, a lot of insight from my boy Leonard, aka Cheney MIXX, and we'll get into that interview that we were lucky to get from him right as we come back from this break. So we're going to the break now.
Need to raise funds for your next creative project, event, or invention? Or maybe you or a family member are raising funds for much-needed medical treatment. Now, you can get started raising that much-needed cash via Donate68.com, the newest 100% homegrown crowdfunding platform in Trinidad and Tobago. Donate68.com accepts donations from all major credit cards, but not only that, for those without a credit card, you can use your everyday Visa debit card to make donations. So log on today and create a campaign for your next passion project, startup, or cause. Share your campaign with your community of family, friends, and supporters to get the financial backing you need. Donate68.com, funding your culture.
Right, so welcome everybody. Welcome back. Welcome to welcome to 2026. Hopefully, even though you don't feel like it, hopefully we leave all the bad vibes. All the bad vibes and jokey
no licks in 26.
Boy, yeah, nah, man. Everything negative, everything jokey, everything, malicious. Let me just leave it there now, boy, and move on with some positive vibes. And one of the first people who I spoke to when I decided or when we get a green light to do this show, when I think about the kind of person that the concept is built on, right? This man here was one of the first people I talked to about coming on the show for a number of reasons, and I was trying to hold it back. I was trying to keep that card in my pocket, but I go pull the card and I'll tell you why. Because it's carnival season, and this man not only has been around and contributed to a lot of our carnival seasons, but as we go into the thing, you understand how important this fella is. Well, wait, this fella is. Right? There's my brother, my good friend, a big brother in the show business, Leonard, aka Che in the Mix. Welcome, brother.
Blessings, my brother. It's been a minute. Yeah, man.
Yeah. We had
family from long time.
You don't know. And that is the thing. I was telling MIXX, right? when oh, he gone. When I wanted to when I came up with the idea to do the show, right? It wasn't my idea to be the host of the show. You know me.
Yeah.
You know me. I go be in the background. I'll contribute. I'll be involved, but I don't really need to be here, right? And in waiting, looking around, asking, certain people, thing, kind of, getting the feelers out. I was like, boy, if we keep waiting, and we had to wait for this and wait for that and the right time and all them kind of thing, we will never do the show. So in a month, if we didn't do it, forget it. And and here we are now, episode 8.
Nice one, man.
Welcome to the show. Trust me, you are the one of the archetypes of the people I talking about and want to talk to on this show. So who is this? So I know a lot of people will be asking because you've been out for a while, but who is this man? Who is Leonard, boy? Who is Shay in the MIXX? I keep hearing Shay in the MIXX. Who is Shay in the MIXX? Introduce yourself to these people now.
First again, thank you for having me. Big up MIXX with this. Our radio concept, man, is one of the best things he did. I told him this before, but always looking into you guys. So it's a good scene.
Nice.
Me, who is me? It's just a follower, just loving the culture.
Yeah, right.
No. I don't know how you want me to describe what is what. But
all right, but
you know my history, you know my family history.
Right.
Right. You know especially who my dad was and stuff like that. Them shoes was too big to walk in. You know what I mean? And I think one way of me trying to honor him was the only way I know best was music and entertainment has been a big part of the family as well with my elder sisters, Josanne. Yeah. And then when I sort of started getting into the music and DJing and stuff like that, back home before I left Trinidad in 1989, March 1989, a week after Carnival, March 1989. And came up here, got back into the DJing after a while, after meeting a few people. I was actually really lucky. And soca wasn't on my mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, okay, you just want to get into the clubs, you want to get in DJing and stuff like that. And then I think it might have been about a year later, we just happened to come across this little soca party was happening in a place called Swiss Cottage. And it hit me like a ton of bricks. It's like, yo, why am I not playing soca music? Right. You know what I mean? Why am I not doing this thing? Right. The promotion that started there was a mass band called Cookie London. Right. Big up Cookie London. That's the foundation for everything Calypso, soca, fest. They are, I won't say the foundation, but the majority of the foundation, right? They were one of the main catalysts.
Right.
And after a while, I got involved with them, and things just kind of took off from there. And your perspective changed when you're outside. You know what I mean? You see things differently, you know, whatever. Yeah, I didn't want to hear the soca when I first come up. I was like, boy, I live in that all the time, you know, that kind of thing. But when you're not in it and you happen upon it, like I did by mistake, in terms of the little event, it was just like, whoa, I real missing this. Right. I real missing this.
All right, but we'll get into all of that, Che. But ladies and gentlemen, this is Che Leonard, Che, aka Che in the MIXX, wicked London DJ from Trinidad and Tobago, resident specialist, soca specialist on Sunday with Che in the MIXX. On what the show is Lush, right?
Lush Soca Sundays, yeah.
Lush Soca Sundays.
On Rubber Ranks Radio.
On Rubber, right. So you see the man leave home and he gone in the studio to do this interview with us to give it the proper footage, right? So I appreciate that. As you all know, we don't do most of the interviews on them, you know, live on a Wednesday because of people's schedules and thing, and we forever grateful for people shifting things around and accommodating us, right? As is this case, Che. So you mentioned quite fleetingly the the family background, but I want to get into that. Your father, Winston Leonard, Uncle Winston, was one of the key participants in the 1970 movement.
Black Power movement,
right?
Yeah.
So-called Black Power. I saw in a documentary. It was they didn't call it that. It's the newspapers who dubbed it that, and that just kind of take off. So in respect to them, I don't really say Black Power, but for reference, that is what we're talking about.
Yeah.
1970. So one of the things I like to do, as much as I could, is get a picture of the background where people came from now. And your family is very special in that they were involved in the Black Power movement. They were involved in social issues and institutions. They were involved in the media. You yourself involved in, you know, the music production and DJing and all of that. how does that color the way you see things and the way you approach your profession, knowing, well, you know, being from that kind of background?
Yeah, as I said just now, you know, from the cultural side of things, that wasn't in the forefront of my mind at the start, right? And especially after my dad died. When he died, I was actually on BBC Radio at the time when he passed away in '99, alongside another big stalwart in the business, Smokey Joe, right? Producer of, going back to Merchant, he produced a lot of music for them, right? So we were doing, I think that might have been our 5th or 6th year on BBC, when my dad had passed. But by then, it was always me, especially after that, I should say, it was always me trying to, as I said, I couldn't walk in his shoes in terms of what he did. But to me, I was still thinking of the people and the culture, how best I could push that forward in my own way. You know what I mean?
And it's a different time, so you need different tactics.
Yeah.
So
that's what, especially after he passed, that's what gave me that push to represent the name. You know what I mean? To make sure the legacy of the Leonard name, of Winston Leonard name, is still carried forward in a different way, but it's still there. You know, I could still reference him as you are doing now.
Yeah.
And I you know, many interviews I do have, or everything I do, I always reference him, because this is me trying to represent him for what he has done for people and for the country.
Right.
You know, so this is my version. You know, is way different, but this is my version.
Yeah, like,
you know what I mean?
Different time, different tactics, man. I appreciate you always, you know, you're always keeping them close in your memory and trying to keep the legacy going forward. Speaking of the legacy, your sister is also someone very very intrinsic to the local media scene.
Exactly.
Josanne Leonard, exemplary journalist and announcer. I worked with her briefly, not directly, but at the same we were in Guyana at the same time. So yeah, that is a real good pedigree.
So when I started DJing in Trinidad, learning the craft and thing, every single buddy never saw me as me. They was like, hey, look, Josanne, little brother. Josanne, little brother. I was like, yo.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So what you do to break out of that now? Let me hear how Chain the Mix was born now.
That was so hard to do. I wasn't Chain the Mix then, right?
Right.
Back then, you had to hone your craft somehow, right? So I was probably about 14, 15, 16, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Breakdancing was a big thing for me, right? I was heavy into breakdancing and things.
Sure, you was breakdancing?
Yeah. I was heavy into breakdancing. Yeah.
Nah, I didn't know you from then. So, yeah. Which night have videos of that? Somewhere?
I don't know, maybe. Because we used to be in big competitions.
Oh,
me and
right,
the group,
nice.
Right?
What's the name of the group?
So, I can't remember now, no? I think it was because we was living Roy Joseph Street in San Fernando at the time. I think it was the Roy J crew or something like that. If memory serves me, right?
Okay.
All right. So anyway, one day we're practicing, and one of the guys came with a cassette. And it had basic, simple mixing and little basic scratching and thing. But you hearing that not for the first time, but you know, I was like, yo, we hear this from.
Yeah.
Right. You know, as a guy in my class do this named Leonard. I say, Leonard. I say, Leonard who? Right?
Right.
Sean. Right? So that's DJ Sean. Right? So that's my first cousin. That's my dad's brother's son.
Okay.
So I was like, Sean? So straight away now, in my mind, I was like, bro, I grew up in music. My sister on the radio.
Yeah.
my cousin can't come and want to play he DJ before me.
Before you.
So that switched to me. Right? So that is when I went by him. I was like, yo, cuz. And so I started to pick up from him.
Right, nice.
Right? DJ Sean. I started to pick up from him. So then we moved back up to Port of Spain and stuff like that. And I was like, obviously, it was just before the whole explosion with Rennie B on the MIXX Master competition, with Mario and Teddy and Brian and all them big names, right? And when we went up to Port of Spain, it took me a little while. And I managed to kind of get into by Mario. And I used to literally just go there and sit and watch Mario do his mixtapes and stuff like that.
This is Mario Ultra Large?
AKA Downtown.
Right, yeah.
So many people come out and say there is unbelievable.
Listen, I could remember, I does knock about, right? So back in the days, I knocking about. And where I was coming from the village, from Emancipation Village, walking down the road by the prison there. And I hearing this music, but I hearing the scratching and men juggling essentially. Where this party is, because this can't just be somebody just playing music home. So and I opened the door to Downtown Outlaws. What going on here, boy? And it was I think it was Clyde and Barry just practicing, them just working out. Clyde go play a tune and step back, and Barry go be like
Barry.
and coming, you had a mix. And this goes to what you talking about learning to DJ and building a relationship with the music and your vibe and your skills, right? So Barry would when Clyde play a tune, Barry had a counter the tune.
Counter that,
But also mix it in properly.
Yeah.
Right? So it was just two of them inside there just playing this game, just practicing and sparring with each other. And I stand up there for about 5 minutes before them realize somebody by the door. So So when you talk about just sitting down and watching Mario and watching other DJs and learning, that's a very important thing.
Yeah, because that is the time when the mix game, the mixtape game was up in itself in terms of sampling and 4-tracking. Right. So that straight away turned my attention to that side of things now, because that was the most fascinating thing, right? Because Mario was the guy everybody used to go to get equipment back then, right? Even with Playboy Lalo used to go and order speakers through him and stuff like that, but he had the licenses to bring stuff in.
Okay.
And that's where I met Brian Regis, and I was like starstruck when I met Brian, because Brian level at that time, that is the height of what everybody wanted to get to, you know what I mean?
Right, yeah, you calling real bosses in the game there.
Right, so I started to hang around all these names and watch and observe and learn, buy my little things, go home, practice, I couldn't afford 4-tracking, I couldn't afford samplers. I was post-mixing, which was what they were doing before that.
Right, yeah.
Right? And funny little story, Lyndon Stone's Razor Shop, right? I always tell him I learned indirectly from him, because he and Brian was real tight doing that thing back then, and I was trying to watch Brian and them guys to see, how to work these things. But that's how it was. That's how I got into it. And Joel, aka Signal to Noise, he started coming in with another brother called Glenn, and they had their own little crew now. I think it was the Hot 103 crew. It was Glenn, Joel, and a guy called Hammy, and they had the little thing going. So everybody, So I mean, I was close with. Good with Tony, aka Chow, Chinese Laundry and stuff. I used to go and hang there and stuff like that, whatever. And when I left, let's fast forward to when I left Trinidad and stuff like that, and I got into the Trini scene, so to say, here. First time Laundry came up to London, came to a party we were having in International Students' House in central London. And I saw them come. I saw him coming in, and then I saw Joel. I didn't know he was signal to noise then, right? 'Cause I had left Trinidad by that. So I was like, yo, you in London, bro, and you come learn, you ain't tell me anything, blah, blah. I having it. He was like, yeah, I'll come up with Chow. I said, you come up with Chow? So you mean you come up with Chow?
Boy.
And then he hit me, I was like, but wait, you signal to noise? I sat to laugh because it was all good. I used to go on borrow his turntables, take it home, because he had, the Technic 12 and just and stuff like that. So that little nucleus, before I left Trinidad, I was when Tony Tat was doing his tapes. He had the store on Traffic Road with the clothing brand.
Look at the time and look at the names you calling. That is a seriously.
Right? That's also when he was modeling as well, right? And Mario used to do a lot of the. They used to have a lot of modeling shows in Queens Hall. Mario used to do the system and the music, so I was always around. So you have to. In them days you're learning, so you're totally create and you're doing this and you're doing what you need to do to be in there, right? Them youths now wouldn't know what it is to learn to be a DJ back then, but
well,
so it was
time
that
and
nucleus
technology,
of
man.
people have been around, right? So when I left Trinidad, that's when things exploded in the way it exploded, right?
Yeah.
Rennie B was always my idol because he was always home by us and stuff like that. He was always my idol. I used to be recording cassettes off a radio.
Right.
And pause when he talking, and then when I'll re-record the cassette, and where he was talking, I would try and emulate that voice.
Right.
You know, you can't emulate the voice, but you're pretending you have a deep voice.
The style,
right? Yeah. You know, so is all those things combined give me the skill that I have now.
Right.
You know, to be able. When I first started DJing here in the UK, I hooked up with a guy called Colin Dale, and it was Kiss FM just went legal then, right? Okay. And I used to roll with him. And the Kiss FM had, outside their presenters, had a roster of club DJs. And I was lucky enough for him to bring me in as a club DJ with him.
Right.
But he was dance and techno and that kind of thing, right?
And what was your specialty then?
But that's just it. Coming from Trinidad, we had no specialty because we playing everything.
That is what I want to hear.
Right? Mm-hmm. We are DJs. We play in everything. And back then, in the 80s, is pop, is rock, is dancehall, is reggae, is
80s was rock,
right?
Dancehall now starting to get big.
Being by Mario, and that's the other thing, being by Mario, because Mario is the only person at the time I knew was dealing in house music, original Chicago Jack house music, right? So that was the first time I got into house music as well, because of Mario, right? So when I came up here, it was easy for me. So when I used to play with him and stuff like that, there's a Thursday we used to play in a place called The Fridge. It was The Fridge back then in Brixton. It's called Electric now. But it's one of a huge club on a Thursday night. And I would always try and mix a little soca on top of the techno and the this and the that, right? There's a DJ up here.
So you were like doing mashups before it was a thing.
Before, right. And there's a DJ. Well, you probably know the name, Carl Cox.
Yeah.
Before he was the Carl Cox, right? They used to call him the 3-deck wizard because he used to use 3 turntables at the time, right?
Oh, really?
Now you went by Mario.
So that is what 3 turntables and 2 mixers. Or
1 mixer.
Oh, wait.
Right? So if you went by Downtown Outlaws, you would see Mario. I don't know if it was like that then, but when I used to go by Mario, he used to have the 3 turntables. Right? With a U.R mixer, I think it was. Right? A rain mixer. So I knew about 3 turntables. Right? So he was headlining a gig that we were at.
This is Carl.
So they set up the 3 turntables.
Yeah.
Right. So I was warming up. And I started to use the 3 turntables. And the man started to carry on.
Nice
like, yo, that's I don't want this. I am Carl Cox, the 3-deck wizard. That's what he is called, right? Carl Cox, the 3-deck wizard. Oh, this person could just come. Who is he? And da-da-da-da-da. And I watching this brother. I was like, yo, who are you? You know what I mean? I mean, okay, he is the Carl Cox now.
Yeah.
Right? But back then, it was like, yo, what going on there? Because it was good for me because I mixing techno into techno or house into house. On the third one, I have a soca lineup to just bring in on the bridge or bring in on the mix or something like that.
Yeah.
Didn't like it at all. Never got booked on a gig that he was headlining after that.
Wow.
You know? But yeah, you just go through things, you know, get into the soca. Eventually started playing soca in 94, 95. Because I was, as I say, I wasn't really into playing. And then it started to get pigeonholed. Or use a soca DJ, or use a this, or use that. Right. So I went from playing in big clubs, and then as I started soca and stuff, I get pigeonholed that's before the whole genre DJ thing started up. You know what I mean? But you know, it made it harder for me then. But I persevered, and I always knew I was lucky to know the right people. You know what I mean? I was always lucky because I networking is something I learned to do from the get-go.
Yeah, and look
when
where
I came over here,
you have you
know,
holding it down like that. But we'll take a little break here. Cause I enjoying this, no boy. I wanna talk about Tree Canal when we come back.
Yeah.
Right, so let me see if this thing working.
Need to raise funds for your next creative project, event, or invention? Or maybe you or a family member are raising funds for much-needed medical treatment. Now, you can get started raising that much-needed cash via Donate68.com, the newest 100% homegrown crowdfunding platform in Trinidad and Tobago. Donate68.com accepts donations from all major credit cards, but not only that, for those without a credit card, you can use your everyday Visa debit card to make donations. So log on today and create a campaign for your next passion project, startup, or cause. Share your campaign with your community of family, friends, and supporters to get the financial backing you need. Donate68.com, funding your culture.
Nice. So welcome back. Remember, people, donate 68. We need it. Right now, we're flying on one wing.
Yes.
It ain't easy.
Yeah, no smartphone business.
Yeah. Watching the show and commenting and you know, being supportive and all them things is nice, but we really need a little thing to fix up in here. So we back with Che in the mix here. Che in the mix. And I want to talk to you about your involvement in that well, not just the Juve, but that whole Tree Canal experience, because that would have been the yard, those Friday nights productions and things like that. Yeah, boy, that was a serious era, you know. That was a special time. So
man, that was a very, very special time, man. When Tree Canal and they used to come here. I always knew Wendell and them, obviously from Trinidad, when I'm coming down for Carnival and, you know, hanging with Signal and everybody, and, you know, so that's how and obviously through Josan and stuff like that. But they started doing shows over here, and then I can't remember the timeline, but at one point they started booking me as a backing DJ, because they were getting a lot of shows over here. All right. So we used to be in London. We used to hire like a little minivan, little minibus kind of thing, drive up to
this was like O.U.R and all of that, right?
Yeah. This is
Tree Canal was traveling heavy.
97, 98, 99 around them times, you know what I mean? Yeah. Especially the 99, 2000s and that kind of thing. So we started doing shows and whatever. By that time I was on BBC. Doing my radio show with Smokey Joe on BBC.
Right.
I was co-hosting with him.
That was the soca show.
Socalypso show.
Right,
It's called the Socalypso show. I was a very popular show, just to sidetrack there a little bit. Because when we started that, when Smokey got the call to do that, it was we went on to do like a segment on somebody's show by a lady who's was still big. She's retired now. She used to go by the name of Rankin Miss P.
Okay.
So we used to go in and do like a 15-minute segment on her show, right? Which eventually that translated into us doing our own show. And then that translated into prime time, because we were 8 o'clock on a Saturday night, prime time, right? And then Rampage Sound was a big DJ sound, well, not sound, a DJ crew back then.
Okay.
Right? Rampage Sound. And they used to come on after that. So they were urban, hip hop, R&B, dance, all that kind of thing.
Early grime and things.
So well, they didn't have that back
then. Back then, yeah.
No. Right. Jungle was now kind of coming in that time.
Right, I know, right. I know what era we're talking about then.
Yeah. So what I used to do at the end of our show, I used to remix some soca, whether it's on a hip hop or a garage or a jungle beat. So it blend into their show kind of thing.
Right, okay. Makes sense.
So that kind of gives me now a little spotlight on me. If that, you know what I mean? So I end up doing a lot of other stuff. People used to call me to do stuff for them or remixes or whatever. So anyway, back to the Tricana thing. So we're doing shows, we're traveling. We went to Germany for World Expo for CARICOM. They got booked for that.
Okay.
So we went. And I was saying to them, it's something I'd try in Manchester with them. And I was like, I said to Wendell, instead of just me sign up, they're just doing the music and tracking. How about if we do some rhythms in between? I could build a library of loops and we could just run some rhythm while they're talking. So, it was song, it just dead and whatever. So we tried it in Manchester and it kind of worked, right? Because the first time we tried it, because I thinking of hip hop now as a backing DJ for hip hop artists, right? It don't just die. The cut a scratch or this or that or whatever.
Right, okay.
Right. So when we went to Germany, that is when it kind of take off in a different way, because I had all kind of samples. I had Blue Boy samples, loops. I had this loop. The most popular one, I had a Jennifer Lopez loop I used to use. You might have heard it in the yard and them kind of places.
Nah, you
probably used to go
crazy.
mad.
You going crazy.
Right? It's to go mad because it tempt no break in the music. Because when they stop the vocals, I come in with that loop, with that break and whatever, and they chat over that break and they start on that, and then we go into the next track. And we always try to not do the same style every show, right? Because when we were in Germany, we were on sometime during the day and then finish off in the night. So it's like 2 sets of shows for 5 days, right? So we always try to break it up. So just actually saying that, just when I say recently, I mean just before Christmas, I'm doing some tidying up and my old CD cases, and inside the sleeve, the cover, and I said, what is it? I pull it as all the track lists for all the shows we ever did.
You're making joke? All?
No, all of them. And I say, right, I need to take some photos and send it to Wendell and Roger and Stan.
Yeah, nice.
All the track lists for all the shows we ever did, especially in Germany and stuff. So that was a different vibe altogether. And that made it stand out so good. People really liked the vibe. So after they left, I went back after CARICOM booked me to come back into Germany to finish off the length of time. I was there for 2 weeks, and then Tricana came back at the end of the expo, and we finished off there. And by the time they came back, they got bookings for the Spain's, the international stage. So all the different international stages started booking them. Did a lot of good shows in there. That was some really, really good times.
Yeah.
Really, really good times, And then going to Barcelona, and it was right a couple of days after 9/11. Right, but by that time it was the mini band, right? So it was Shocky was there. This one, Shocky is my boy, right?
Well, I have a story there, but I mean, that's
but I ended up for some strange reason. They stopped me at the gate to board. There's like, your visa out. I said, what do you mean my visa out? I was like, no, my visa can't be out, right? And I don't know which visa they were looking at. I get left out to that too, right? And not less to say they were not pleased, right? Because tickets were bought, right? But yeah, and then it's from there, that's where the whole Cut and Clear band came in, and the whole thing just switched,
Yeah.
But I had some great times touring with them, man. I had some really, really great times. Even when I used to come in for Carnival, I used to still do shows with them.
Yeah.
As they're back in DJ,
I remember you from there. That could have been, if I remember, one of the early times that DJ was incorporated into the band, or was Shell Shock?
Nah.
Or Shock was doing
no.
stuff before.
Oh, you mean with Tricanal?
With Tricanal, yeah.
Yeah, well, I was first, and then Shocky.
Right.
Not with the band. Sorry, not with the band. Shocky was the one with the band. So I wasn't in with the band. But I was the first person to bring Pioneer 1000 CDJs into Trinidad.
I wanted to say that, boy. When you
because
all right, we done talking about Shell Shock already. Sheldon Benjamin, rest in peace. I could remember I gave an earlier story, right? And look the man. Look the man there. he was say when I'm lying. So she called me, say, boy, I have a show to do. Doing a thing in the what was that? The Fernandez Complex, CCA.
Yeah.
Say I have a show to do in CCA, boy. Come and help me set up now. Thing. I had to run out some equipment and thing. Che asking me to help him set up for a show. Duh. Yes, I come in. Man say meet me in St. James. Thing. Go on meet the man in St. James. I say, what is the scene with the equipment? Thing. He say, well, everything in the box over. So, right. My partner come in the car. We go, thing. I say, which partner? He say, Sheldon. No. At this time, Valdez Brooks and Sheldon Benjamin were not seeing eye to eye. That story, is another story. But for the purposes of this story, Valdez Brooks and Sheldon Benjamin were not friends, right? And if you know Sheldon Benjamin and you know Valdez Brooks, you know that
the diva.
Boy, that man, boy. He was a fellow of distinct personality. But
true Gemini to heart.
Yeah, boy, we wasn't getting along at all. And you said Sheldon, you didn't say Shocky. So when So when he pull up and I look outside, I say, Che, is Shock you talking about? He said, yeah. He come in, we going down with him and things. I say, Lord have mercy. But boy, suffice it to say, because of you and because we were both there to help you, to give you a hand. When he opened that door, when you open the door and he see me and I see him and we two I make four, we was like, yeah, where is he scene?
That is itself. Yeah.
And just we didn't even talk about what we fall out before about.
Yeah.
That was it. We squashed the beef because we here for Che, and that is the most important thing. And the night went off nice. The event was great, and I'm glad that happened because, well, look where we are now. I would not get, trust me, at that point in time, and you know Shock and you know me. That beef would not squash. So, and I'm glad we, since subsequent to that, I hail him and we talk and thing when he was around and thing, and also I had the chance to talk to Lynch about the incident that we fall out about.
Yeah.
And I get a chance to apologize to him as well for my part of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm glad we get to turn that page, and I'm glad you were the catalyst for it, and I always appreciate you for that. Yeah. You squash a big beef.
Yeah.
Right. So Tricanal traveling, Tricanal touring, you knocking about with them. How they convince you to do the Juve?
Well, it's not no convincing, to be honest. All right, because you can ask Wendell especially about this. I wasn't going home one year. I wasn't coming home one year for Carnival. Or it was somebody. Oh no, sorry, somebody was going down to Trinidad a good while before Carnival, and I had this idea in my head about this truck, right? So I recorded a presentation. I do a show to show them what it would look like, right?
Yeah.
A brethren of mine who do graphic arts and stuff like that. So the man put my image, all the images I had there, he put it there, right? And it is exactly what I wanted it to look like. So I had this thing about this image of a futuristic truck in my head, right? Now, one of the reasons why I was like that is because when I used to come home for Carnival and come back here for Notting Hill Carnival, our trucks on the road, as in Coquille London, Mass Fan. The guy who used to do the trucks was a guy called Steve, who used to do all the major festivals at the time, as in, and take on all the major festivals, Glastonbury, Leeds, Virgin, all the major music festivals at the time, right? Steve Coward was his name. His company was called Black Box Sound.
I know that name. So I must have met Steve.
He used to do our trucks for us. So I used to take pictures of laundry truck, come up here and say, I know we can't do this, but how can we come close?
Yeah.
Right? So like the first time I see AWs, when I see the first Lalo's first truck with them AEW just lined up across the top of the truck, right? And they're halfway on top of the trailer, and the bottom of the what they're standing on is the same thing, just a line of subs, and then kind of thing, right? So you say, okay. He said, no disrespect to that song guy, but AEWs are not meant to be straight. The reason why that angle is for a reason.
Right. Those are the speakers that hang like.
Yeah, no, the normal double straight front speakers, not linearies.
Okay.
Right, but the angle like this, like a kind of a triangle kind of shape, right? You see, they're meant to fan out, okay. So you get a 360, a more better coverage. So we hung them, we fly them speakers and hang them off the trailer. So they were like, they had the shape it was supposed to be. Right. And it was like concert style because they were hanging on a piece and that this guy was crazy. He was crazy.
Off of the truck itself.
The trailer, yeah. Right. And we couldn't do much subs and thing because you see how England is in terms of how close buildings are and stuff like that, right? So we put 2 long throw subs strapped up under the trailer, and we used to do real madness, right?
That you can talk about now.
Yeah. So he used to do lighting on the truck, right? He used to bring lighting on the truck and that kind of thing. And this is mid to late 90s I'm talking about, right? So it was a different look altogether. No? So that gave me the idea for Tricanal, right? Because we used to put scaffolding netting on our truck.
Okay.
From back then and wrap the truck like that. That before banners started doing that, right? We used to use scaffolding netting and put the banners onto that. Basically, so it's not on the speakers. And when it got dark and I saw the lighting used to look through the netting and stuff like that, that's what gave me this idea. So I sent them, but we had rope. In those days, I remember them rope lights, them long rope lights.
Yeah.
So I said to him, remember the Coca-Cola Christmas truck? Right. So that's the idea. I said,
just
and I showed him. Yeah, so we wrapped the the circumference of the trailer in rope lights.
Yeah.
So when it go dark, you only see lights. The trailer, basically, the outline.
Print it out.
So that's basic. Yeah. So that's basically the idea. I picture went out. You print because by that time they were doing the big banners.
The big banners on the back.
Yeah. I said, look, let's do that, but let's block the sides too. Have lights, have smoke machine. When we pull off, I do a whole production. And when we pull it off, we do a drama. Right? Boom, boom, boom is the introduction. We hit the road, ting, ting, ting. And that's it. Trinidad ready for that. Whatever. But I started to play. That was the first year I played on the truck. And it was me, Shocky, Robert Lynch.
Yeah.
Somebody else, I can't remember. It might have been just the three of us. Juve is my thing.
That was the squad rolling in the earlys, you, Shock, and Lynch. Yeah.
Juve was my thing. I could take Juve and go home.
Me
as
too.
in fly out and come back, right? And when I started to play, I just started to play all old school, right? My first song, and up to this day, you can ask Roger, say, Che, you always make me cry every time you start to play. Because I always start with the journey, right? Always start with the journey. And I build a story with that and with the music for a little while. And we go, well, I ain't have to tell you the story. You know how it is, right?
So
that first year, when I started to play all in the 90s, especially the Kiskidi Caravan stuff, when we were in the Savannah, that just turned things over.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't playing it like a Trinidad DJ. Right? So every Trinidad DJ, you'll hear the same tunes after one another. Right? It was a different thing altogether. Right? Because I playing it here in the UK, so I playing it how I want to play, how I hearing it.
Right.
Right? So even Shocky was like, boy, I really enjoyed that music for the first time in a long time. As in the music, not the way I was playing, but the way I played it, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
So stick up in
that. That was the start of the...
Stick up in that, Chi. I want to go to a little break, and that is exactly what I want to talk to you about when we come back, and you'll see why.
All right.
Need to raise funds for your next creative project, event, or invention? Or maybe you or a family member are raising funds for much-needed medical treatment. Now, you can get started raising that much-needed cash via Donate68.com, the newest 100% homegrown crowdfunding platform in Trinidad and Tobago. Donate68.com accepts donations from all major credit cards, but not only that, for those without a credit card, you can use your everyday Visa debit card to make donations. So log on today and create a campaign for your next passion project, startup, or cause. Share your campaign with your community of family, friends, and supporters to get the financial backing you need. Donate68.com, funding your culture.
Right, and we back, and we in a real, we in a real sweet spot now. This is something I was holding back to ask a little later on, but we have all that time pass, and we just talking here, Che. It all going nice, boy. Anyway, so there's the thing. I listen to your show every so often. I don't know. My average might be once a month for about an hour. Stone has a show in the afternoon in Barbados as well. Yeah. So and you know me, I listen to everything. So I on BBC, I might get a little Rodigan according to how the thing go. I might not be home. So so yesterday, today is what? Today is Tuesday. So Sunday was the first time in a long time I listened to the whole thing. Boy, you bad boy.
Thanks, and
it's the same.
I appreciate that.
It's the same thing. I noticed that you just talk about the story, right? And the way how you would play or select songs and put them together has nothing to do with era specifically or particularly. It has nothing to do with the composition of the song so much, whether it's
or the big tunes,
right? Whether it has nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with groovy versus power, and it's like you're having a conversation through the music, and it is not, it's palatable. I could see that it's palatable to your audience in the UK, just the way how it is, how it sounds, right? But for someone from the Caribbean, someone who knows soca music and, you know, loves calypso and all of that, and knows the different meanings and thing with the songs, has to be able to tell this man talking through the music. Where that come from?
You say Sunday you listen to the show. Sunday was a straight show because it was a recorded show.
Right, yeah.
Right. Because we take this holiday downtime. Well, the station took this holiday downtime to do a refurb it and a read this and a read that.
Right, yeah.
So that's why I'm here today. I had to record weekend shows.
Okay.
This weekend shows. Right. So it was a recorded show. So that was mixed at home. So that's why there was no talking. Right. But how I get into telling a story with music is a little bit to do with Signal and Tony, right? But a lot of it to do with Tony Matterhorn. Believe it or not. I went to Jamaica back in the days, rest his soul, Uncle Byron Lee, used to book me to go to Jamaica. And it was uptown thing in them days. So I go in, I clean in hotel and whatever. So in the latter parts of it, I said, always hit him, oh, give me a Uncle Byron, give me a gig downtown now. She said, Che, you don't want to go downtown. You don't want to go downtown.
He's trying to protect you.
Yeah. So in the latter parts of that, later 90s and stuff like that, I went to an event and Tony Matterhorn was playing. And we got there about between 1:30 and 2 in the morning. And I hear him on the mic and vibes. And I was like, ooh, I can't wait to get in there. But that thing's going real good. Well, as I walk in there at 100 people.
Nah.
Right? No, the place packed out after a while, right?
Right,
but
yeah, okay.
that was early. That was early for Jamaica.
Oh gosh, well, you know they will come out like right? All 1, 2 o'clock.
I didn't know that. Right? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I watched this brother, and this brother is like the place ram. Right? And the micing is introducing the next song, which, as they say, is a story.
Yeah.
Right? And most times the story is the title of the song. So, you know, it's like,
or the hook or the chorus. Yeah.
Right? I watched this brother. So after I think we talked, I said, yo, this man, he said, Che, I don't care. You can have one person or no people, or it could be 10,000 or whatever. I give it the same vibe.
Right.
I give it the same, and I take that and I was like, yo. And then when I started to use the mic over here, right? When I actually started to use mic, because I used to tell people when I started, leave the mic, don't touch your mic. I used to use the same thing. I used to use the music to bridge my story.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
See, like these. So when I actually started using the mic, and it was by mistake, I actually started using a mic. I mic for somebody, and it went down really well. And I was like, oh, I could do this, man.
You could do it, yeah.
Yeah. Right? So I started using the mic, and a pattern, that mic work off of Matterhorn, basically, with that storytelling of the music. Right? Taking lyrics, like, for instance, I'm playing Shadow Horning, right? I talk along the lines of that, and I'll bring in wrong name, right? But if you're horning, remember, you have to keep your right name. Don't bring no wrong name. That it's a story you're telling.
And that is the thing, right? People. All right, so your skill as a DJ, right? I'm talking straight technically to beat match, playing key, tempo, BPM, all them things, right? You have that down. That is not without question, right? So you blending one tune into our next, blending 10,000 tune, nothing will be, out of place, right?
Yeah.
So this is what I'm saying. So the people who not familiar with soca or what the exactly the songs are saying, and then a song could have 2 and 3 meaning too, according to who do it. They still will enjoy the actual mix because the music is blended properly. They don't necessarily have to know the songs word for word, but the sweetness in the mix is you know the songs, you know the content, and people who know soca and know calypso will tune into that, will key into that and be like, hey, ting. And actually, I find myself, you went from a rudder to it wasn't Mr. Shock. You span about in a 10-minute part of the mix Sunday, like about 4 generations.
Yeah.
Back to back.
I love to do that.
And it wasn't jarring at all. But if
I love to do that because
like
music is music.
Correct. But like I said, now, if somebody was to take the challenge and do that, it wouldn't sound as smooth because our ears so accustomed to hearing what playing now and what is the hot songs now, that in order to play songs from 20, 30 years ago, you had to break down the whole mix and do an old school session and start from Sugar Boom Boom or some kind of thing like that, and then bring it back up.
Segment. Do
it in segments, but you just blending it anyhow. Well, not anyhow, but blending it regardless of errors. And I real enjoy that, boy. I real enjoy that style of mixing.
Was it that show or was it the show before? I think it was the show before. It may not have been that one. Fair and Tune, break up Carnival Friday to make backup Ashlands, right? And bringing Horner Man on top of that Shadow, right after that. But again, it's the same thing, and I love stems. I love stems now. Right.
Yeah.
But it's hard to do with soca. Right? Because
what do you mean? No disrespect here.
No disrespect. Yeah, no disrespect to the producers and the engineers. But when you're using stems, if I go to take vocals off most of the tracks, it's still bleeding because it will bleeding into the melody, the keys, and there's no separation mixing for vocals at all. Right? I could understand everything else, but there's no separate mixing for vocals. Right? On not all, but a lot of them. Right? So do it sense hard with most of the soca, but I do it. Right? And funny enough, a lot of the old soca works.
Oh, really?
Right? Yeah, because
why you think that is?
As men sitting down behind a mixing desk with vocals, drums, guitar, keys, horns.
Yeah. They actually playing the music.
So it separate. Right? Believe it or not.
It recorded separate.
Right? Some you wouldn't get it because they might be mixing into they may not have a big board or whatever it is, right? I feel man, I have to pause and I look like my thing dying there. You could pause and come back?
Yeah.
I just want the charger. Yeah. I'm gonna just get the charger. Sorry.
Right. No scene.
I didn't contemplate it being so long.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Go on. Ouch. Catch it before it cuts off.
Yeah, this iPad running low too.
Yeah, same thing with this one. I didn't realize it was on 70 something, I didn't realize it would drain the battery so much.
Yeah, generally try to capture like an hour.
Yeah.
So we could put 2-3 breaks in between.
Yeah, we got to put it now. Yeah. Yeah. All
right, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. You were saying.
Yeah. So that mix, and again, I don't literally sit down and say I'm gonna do this. I put my show together, right? Because I send my playlist into the station beforehand, so it's on the system. So
you would show up, yeah.
Right? And then I'll come in, and then I'll just do the show accordingly. The other thing I've learned is, I guess every DJ will tell you that the main idol is Jazzy Jeff, right? And when I do tapes, if I do a mix now, I do in a live mix. I'm not doing no computer mix, right? And it's because of what Jeff said. Jazzy Jeff said was like, he mixing, and if you hear a little double beat here and a little thing there, he said that's fine because that is organic. That's what happens when a DJ is DJ, right? He said, but the most important thing is if you can start here at 95 BPMs and end up here at 130 BPMs without a break in between. He said that's when you know a DJ doing a job.
Right?
Because he's taking you on a musical journey. Hip hop, trance, house, whatever. And that's what I try to do. If you listen to my show, any of the shows, because I do an urban show on a Friday or so, if I start on a song, most times I'll start with a groovy and end up down in power or faster. But there's no breaks. If there's breaks, it's because it's station idents and whatever. But in terms of the mix of the music, there are no breaks.
Nice.
And my music is not sounding like chipmunks. Right? If it's 95 BPM, the most I go in on that, maybe a 5, depending. But I also have my key lock and my disc and whatever. So you're not hearing the difference. Right? But I could learn it from on turntables. Obviously, we learn never to go past 2.5 on a Technic turntable.
Yeah, the pitch.
Right?
The pitch,
so that's the pitch. So that stuck with me even now with the technology we have. I always try not to change the song.
Yeah.
Right? And on radio, that's what I'm there for. I'm there to play the music, to let the music breathe, for people to hear the music, for me to say,
the music breathe. You play almost on almost all the songs. Yeah, I would say probably about 65%.
3/4 of the songs. Most of the song I play.
Yeah.
Right.
You get a nice 2 verse and 2 chorus, and
exactly.
And mix it into the nice part of the song that answering the previous song and thing. Yeah, for sure.
Right. I mean, for radio, that's what I do. If I play now, there's a difference. Even when I play now, I don't like to cut music either. I will mix, I'll while it up.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to give you a 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I mean? I exaggerated 10 seconds, but you know what I mean? It's not in my nature, because that is not how I learned to DJ.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then when I learned radio the proper way, because I went into BBC, so I was taught the proper way of presenting.
You had no choice but
I was taught, don't talk over your music.
Don't talk over the music. Before the singer comes in, make sure you finish talk before.
If you want to say something,
that's why it have an intro.
Don't press play. Exactly. Don't press play if you know you don't have enough time to speak over that before the singing comes in.
Yeah, and this was before you even used to see the waveform, so you know exactly where the
this is back in the days. Yeah, this is back in the days. So the training and I was always lucky. I have to say I was lucky to be in certain places at certain times to get certain things. Last year, a year before, I was lucky. I was really lucky for the area I live, which is in Croydon, which is South London. they were the borough of culture for that year before, I think it was, or whatever year it was. And although I don't do much stuff here, but I do a lot of cultural stuff.
Yeah.
I was selected to be what's the term they use, boy? Cultural influencer. Right? So I was interviewed and I was this and I was that. So there's a whole, I've actually, along with a lot of people or other Caribbean people in the diaspora, whether it's African or Caribbean or Indian or whatever it is, they had a whole exhibition and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So they had like laureates doing poems according to what they heard from your particular interview. And then you had like somebody doing an image, taking one of your image and giving their own interpretation of the image and stuff like that. So my story now, it's similar to what you and I just spoke about, as in from my dad to Josan to me and whatever.
Yeah.
My story is now recorded here in history. Right, so you could go to the National Library now and go to the recording section and whatever and check. And I am now embedded in King Charles history now. So I'm embedded into the history now.
But you ain't easy. And where you from? Sando?
Sando. Little boy from Sando. I think that was the headline. Yeah, I think that was the headline in the Guardian. Yeah. You know, but it was, to me, I never thought, and again, I just happened to meet the person that was, and it's like, you know, I need an extra person. I need one more person. And she was what, and it's just by luck I met her.
Right.
It was just by luck. And I think that's probably the proudest moment I had, because she's actually Trinidad and she knows my family history funny enough. She knows who my dad was. She knows who Josan is and blah, 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 blah. So we spoke about literally, even down to my grandparents, you know, from indentureship time and how my grandparents, you know. Yeah. So it's a real snapshot of our family history from my dad's parents and name changing to marry, because in them days Muslim can't marry Hindu and blah, 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 you know. So it's a very nice snapshot of us.
Right.
My part of the Leonard family. Yeah. Obviously, the majority of that is with me. But, you know, it was such a proud moment to talk. I had to do research. I had to call Josan and find out things about my dad and this and that. So we did some research, and I said to the young lady, could you send me the questions? So then I will know what to research. And that's what we did. You know, Josan did a nice package, and the interview was, listen, I was so proud of that, because I was in the National Gallery exhibition. I was in, you know, and now it's actually archived there now. So you could go and look it up from now until February, you know what I mean? So yeah, the little Trini boy in the archives of the British history.
Yeah, so that brings out is just two more things I wanna touch with you before we wrap up here, right?
Yeah.
The first thing is considering the history, colonialism, enslavement, indentureship, back to Windrush, that kind of, well, the Black Power era, because it wasn't just Trinidad, it was the whole world, the diaspora was, you know, pushing back against things. Into through music and the arts, the affluence of so-called third world people, and the explosion in culture, art, expression. What is I had to find the right word because people in the comments going and go crazy. What is the mode or the mood in the UK slash Europe towards Caribbean people as you experience it, sharing the vibes and the music and the art of this region?
Bro, it changed a lot now. It was always there, but it was underlying.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I used to get it a lot. You know, I used to get it a lot. They used to look at me, this little Indian fella. They didn't know where I'm from, because obviously here they see you as an Indian person is either they're from India or they're from Pakistan.
Right.
Right. That was the narrowness of and not just with white British, I'm talking about in British, whether it's Black British or, you know what I mean, Caribbean people who have Caribbean parentage but never been to the Caribbean, that kind of thing. Right. It has always been there. I guess now with the non-white British side of it, it's changed, because back, I remember many years ago, I went in the Jamaican shop to buy some patties and I took it. And instead of like, okay, you want it warm, though, okay, the first thing come out the young lady mouth was, why are you trying to talk like a West Indian? I was like, what?
Wait a minute, you know me, you know where I from, girl?
Right. I was like, that's exactly what I said. I was like, you don't really know who I am. You can't be saying that.
Yeah.
Right. I said, and I'm sure I'm more West Indian than you. Right. So that exchange took place or whatever, because straight away she thought I was either a Pakistanis or an Indian.
Trying to think because you're in a Jamaican shop. Right. Okay.
Yeah. Right. And that happened on many occasions.
Yeah.
A young Jamaican guy stopped me. I was in the men's fashion trade at the time. And he stopped me because some, gold band or something. Whatever jewelry I had, and he pulled my hand. He was like, yeah. And, well, I wouldn't use the derogatory term he used, right? But it's Pakistanis he took me for.
Right.
So I watched him straight. I was like, bro, you can take it, It's just things. But I don't know how far you'll reach. Just felt that you watch her. You're like, and the same thing, why are you trying to chat like somebody? Well, I was like, let me tell you something. And I said this thing, I said, bro, let me tell you something. I'm more Caribbean than you. Right? I said, I come from the Caribbean. I born and grew up in the Caribbean. Right? So I am more Caribbean than you. Your parents or one of your parents might be Caribbean. I said, but not you.
I from there.
Right? Yeah. I am from the Caribbean.
Yeah.
So he was when he started to smile and thing, and he was like, all right, you carry on. It's always been there, but now with how the world has turned upside down,
boy,
those that were quietly bubbling quietly, now that they just feel they have the right to say and do what they want. So now you have to be so wary of how you respond to people or even look at somebody now. It's just it's a scary thing over here right now.
Back to the 60s again, boy.
Back to it. Literally.
Wow.
But you do what you have to do and just go along.
What's the outlook? Because I heard rumors about the life expectancy of Notting Hill Carnival. Anything surface that a little more.
I think it's too much shows you'll have to do with me for me to give my verdict on that itself. Let me put it this way. All right, so I'm out of Carnival now. Right. I've been out of Carnival since before COVID. All right. Because the management of Carnival is what have Carnival the way it is now. All right. And I'm very outspoken about the person who runs Carnival. So we butted head. I don't know if I was doing chefing work as a head chef and stuff. I do, that kind of thing too.
Right.
And we bounced head in that sector. Arena, we bounced head.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And he bounced the wrong head because I took him. Right? Legally, I took him.
Oh.
So he don't like me at all. I got banned from going carnival meetings representing, Lush, the carnival band, Lush and Coquille London and stuff like that. Because I ask questions that they don't really like to be asked.
Right.
So yeah. But yeah, in terms of the life expectancy, boy, I think it don't have much to go if it continues the way it is now.
It is going. Okay.
All right. Yeah. So this year is the 60th anniversary. It's also Trinidad and Tobago. It falls on Trinidad and Tobago Independence Day as well.
Wow.
Right. So I don't know if Trinidad over here, the commission over here, High Commission over here, is going to try and be involved to give, Trinidad a presence. But Trinidad and Tobago High Commission over here
to be fair,
always have.
To be fair, boy, Che, we didn't have independence celebrations last year. So
yeah.
So no, I don't see how it might be given to be involved.
Their ethos was never tourism. Never. Right? Even to get them involved in something they don't. Trinidad and Tobago High Commission over here is literally like walking into a civil service office in Trinidad.
Oui.
That kind of attitude. Literally. Right? To this day. Right? The one good high commissioner that I had here was Nicholas. I forget his surname. Nicholas Garrett or Nicholas Garrett. I can't remember his surname. But that's when I was heavy. I was living on the South Coast in Bournemouth.
Right.
And I had my own cocktail bar and I had a cocktail bar grill. And I was doing food festivals and stuff like that. And the first year I was involved in, I did a food festival. I was like the busiest stall in the whole of the festival.
Nice.
Right. I had a queue from start to finish of 40 to 50 all day, constantly. Like that. Right.
Where was Pelton out then?
Our food.
So Pela and
yeah.
Right, nice.
Barbecue or more grilled. So barbecue, I was doing jerk as well.
Right.
But with my jerk, I brought up Jamaica. My good friend is a Jamaican jerk. I brought him to do the jerk. I ain't going to pretend to do jerk.
Right.
You know what I mean? I want the authentic thing, curry goat, right? Pilau rice, right? Our version of rice and peas. So pilau rice and that kind of thing. Grilled fish, right? So when this second year came around, the organizers called me and said, can we have a meeting, blah, blah, blah. We're going to extend it to 10 days from a Friday to the following weekend. And then on the following weekend, we want to give you the Saturday to take over the whole, because they're going to have entertainment and whatever.
Right.
So it will be your day. Saturday will be your day. I was like, in my mind, I think I was like, oh, they're really sure they want to do that. But So I got involved with them, thing. I gave them a proposal. They liked it, went ahead with it. So I went to the High Commission, went to meet. I met with Nicholas and whatever, and Gavin Nicholas.
Yeah.
Right. Met with Gavin. Gavin was he was on that level of promoting, but he wanted to do, I'm sure he probably wouldn't mind me saying this, but he had something planned in Cardiff to do a carnival in Cardiff and do trucks and whatever. Right. And he called the guy who used to run Coquille London Mass Band, Dexter Khan. Right. He said, I am always his right. So we went and I was a technical person talking, whatever. And after that, I started to talk to him about the festival. So he sponsored me. All right. So we called it Trinidad and Tobago Day. All right. At the food festival. So they came down, they set up a nice tourism thing, blah, blah, blah. So I call it food, fashion, and music. Right. So I had a guy I work with over here, and all the fashion was Caribbean fashion. Right. I had my music, so I had Just Now play coming on. I had Keshav and they come down and whatever. Other UK artists. At 3:00 in the afternoon, Saturday, right? that came to me. It was like, yo, we needed to shut down for a little while. I was like, shut down for a little while. Say, fire services complaining. Too much people. I was like, what?
But that's the thing, sir.
And we in the town center, in the middle of the town center, right? In the square. So it's huge.
Mm-hmm.
At that time, the footfall, they say, the footfall is 65,000. I was like, what?
What? Nah.
Say, yeah, you have to shut down. And people used to gripe with me with my food. Right? I call it the cold pot. I contacted Angostura and stuff like that. And I never got any response. So my alcohol sponsor was actually Rare Nephew, but the whole brand. So I had Appleton, Appleton Special Rent. So all the alcohol brands, they were my sponsor. And only after I got the sponsor, I said, oh, you're doing Trini food and you have Jamaican drink. I was like, bro, it's a Caribbean thing. If Trinidad don't want to sponsor me, why not? Right? So anyway, I do nothing. I had to shut down.
Turn down rum anyway.
I'm not going to turn down a sponsor. Full stop. Right? I had to shut down. I had to stop serving for about an hour to let the crowd just kind of go around to other people then. Rather than stick to the main stage, because I had a big main stage and all that. Even that, I got sponsored because I brought my guys in and they sponsored that, the sound and stage and all of that. All right. So anyway, at the end of the day now, they're coming and saying, I had a meeting with them and the fire services because I wasn't happy. The final tally at the end of the day was 76,000 people footfall.
Nah, man,
right?
Man.
I laughed to myself, right? I laughed to myself because I was like, nice, I do what I wanted to do.
Yeah,
right? So
by far.
I was like, you sure that was just not overall as in the other stores? It was like, no, your main stage and your area, that is what the footfall was. We can't have that next year. Like, all right, no problem.
And you talking about two big shoes to fill?
I wanted to accomplish. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I was blessed to be in the last 10 to 15 years, maybe a little more. No, that's 20 from 2010, 2011. So last 20 years or whatever it is. Blessed to be able in places to be able to do these things, to showcase not I wouldn't say me, but showcase where I come from.
Nice.
Whether it was music, whether it was food, whether it's mass, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was just happy to just push culture in general.
Yeah.
You know, not just the music. It was just an overall thing. You know what I mean? Push the culture overall.
Through doing that, you really live up to your name because Shay in the mix is all kind of things. You know what I mean? So you really embody that and you make it real. You really deserve that name, boy. I ain't gonna lie.
It's funny enough is Dexter Khan from Cookie London gave me that name because I used to do all the live engineering and thing too. Right? And one day a flyer for one event coming up. And I see Che it was in MIXX, DE. I was like, what's this? Is this Che? He's like, no more. He said, you go, what are you doing there?
Yeah.
No more.
Yeah.
So from back then, yeah.
That's like
I
people
used to do
changing.
crazy things because Cookie used to bring up a lot of artists, right? And we used to be, you may know this club, a club called Camden Palace, right? In Camden. It's called Coco now, right? But when Cookie went there, obviously they were very skeptical. The person didn't know what Calypso is and what, you know, that kind of thing. So Dexter actually went back and gave the general manager a cassette, right? But he only do Calypso, he didn't do soca. So it was like Barra and all that kind of thing, right? The guy said, yeah, man.
Yeah,
it was Easter Monday.
Yeah.
Right? Easter Monday. They underestimate what Cookie was. Right? Club capacity, 2,500. Club capacity, right? 5 DJs only. 5 London DJs, yeah? Used to be called the Smokey Joe Roadshow. All right, 5 DJs. When they see the queue round the corner to get in, they start to get tizzy. Bang sell out. Security was short, so they start to get frightened. Right? But they never had problems. Right? We just come in, people just come in to enjoy themselves and have a good time. Right? So let me jump start to 1997. We did Rudder inside of there. Right? And because it's not a performance venue, all the speakers are right next to the stage. Right? So monitoring thing would have been hard. Right? So Steve, I said to Steve, the same guy, the song guy, I say, could you do some in-air monitors to me? Because I was in-air monitors now started to come out, right? Yeah. He said, yeah. He said, but I'll have to bring my own stage engineer because you have to specialize in that as they could send somebody deaf, you know what I mean? I said, no problem. Dexter's like, yeah, Che, you do your thing, man. David was very, 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 I don't know about that, you know David already, right?
Yeah, the old school, yeah.
Yo, David, I know I can tell you this. Everybody, a man say, yo, I never see David whine and carry on. David was like, it was like that there.
Yeah.
And he had freedom to do what he wanted to do. He didn't have to stick to a monitor and stick to it. David was what David said after that, David's like, Che,
you free up the man. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the kind of things. I mean, before that, we did when Ronnie McIntosh was in his heyday.
Yeah.
In a dog stadium, right? But on the inside. Yeah, dog racing stadium. But we were on the inside, and it was a weird place because they had to build a stage and whatever, right? So I say, you know what? I thought, obviously, to watch the tracks, the windows were retractable. It was like sliding doors, right? I say, Madman Steve, my song guy, I was like, Steve, you can build a stage straight down the center from the windows to the steps? He said, yeah. I said, okay. I said, it won't affect the band and the sound or anything. He said, no, we will set it up good. Next Sunday, watch me, like, what are you going to do? You can't do that. You're splitting the crowd. I said, yeah, that's exactly what I want to do. North Stand, Grandstand. No, what's that? Yeah, go. You bring Ronnie in. We put them Hollywood skylights and thing outside the stadium. So that's what you're seeing with the Cookie logo. So if you couldn't find the stadium, just look up in the air. You see the Cookie logo, right? Bring Ronnie in a limo and bring him round the back. So he came through the doors, the windows, straight onto the stage. Ronnie mash up. When I really mash up that dance, right? People was like, everybody says, Che, so what are you coming up with next? What are you doing next? What are you doing next? And
you get them mass.
It's all that kind of crazy thing. And engineering on top of that. Live engineering on top of that. So I think that's where the indie mix coming from.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's where indie mix coming from. I learned a lot from MIXX as well. MIXX was one of the persons I always looked up to. Raymond. Yeah. I was just blessed to know the right people. I had to say that. I was just blessed to know the right people.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
I'm glad we get to make this catch up and get them stories, boy. The story is so important, eh?
But I want to just jump back to one thing we mentioned just briefly. With Trick and all in the yard on a Carnival Friday.
Yeah.
Or every Friday.
Every Friday, the Fridays leading up to it, yeah. So
when I brought the Pioneer CDJs down that year, I left on Monday. That come out the previous Monday, released in London the previous Monday.
Yeah.
Come down and we set it up in the studio there, Shocky. Right, I was playing some beats. I was doing film. I was playing some remixes. I had a Michael Jackson thing I did on top of a kind of garage thing I did there. And he's like, "How do you get Michael Jackson vocals?" First, yeah, my God. And then he stopped. He said, I know how, because another good friend of mine, who you would know the name, Dexter Simmons.
Yeah, I know Dexter Simmons.
Right. So, Dexter wrote any album and stuff like that. The last with Teddy and thing. So he said, I don't need to know how you get that. He was
down here for a symposium some years ago.
Dexter and I, funny enough, Dexter and I used to, when we were learning sound engineering, as in learning sound engineering to get the paper, basically.
Yeah.
We sat up together and I interviewed him and he said, Che, you were always better than me. I was like, don't start shippiness, you know what I mean? That's not true, kind of thing. But anyway, saying that now, that Friday, we put the word out, CDJ 1000s in the yard.
Yeah.
We've never seen any DJs, and I say any DJs. I'm talking Mary Perry, I'm talking Ishmael, right? Stones came down, obviously.
Yeah.
Who else? There was 6 DJs was in the yard, right? And everybody tiptoeing because Shocky was in his DJ glee.
Yeah, he would have learned that like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's we set it up in the studio and he just start, right? I asked Lyndon about this. I actually lent Lyndon it for him to do the same thing, get accustomed to it and that kind of thing.
Naturally.
Everybody who was anybody was down in the yard that very first Friday.
Yeah.
Those Pioneer 1000s opened up.
Yeah, I could remember
we were just laughing.
I could remember opening the box and he was like, hey. when we were setting up the show, is like, hey, I go handle that. Yeah, man. So
because Lalo's like, Che, leave them with me when you're going up, bind them. I was like, Lalo,
Line up.
No.
So coming off of that, I wanna ask you, which was the second thing, which is a technical question. Good thing you mentioned this DJ. So your DJ sound career. Well, let me just talk playing music. Turntables. Cassette recording, pause tapes on cassette. Turntables. CDJs. What was your first one? Serato or your first digital?
Well, funny enough, DJ I didn't even want to switch. I did not want to switch. And I was touring a lot as a DJ into Europe, as a normal DJ into Europe and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I was getting fed up of turning up and CDJs thing and MIXX this and, you know what I mean? So I have a friend here who is a turntablist. And I was telling him it was by him, because you do production as well.
Okay.
I was doing some stuff and I was like, what's that? He says a controller. One little thing, you know. I was like, a controller for what you want the controller for? I said, well, you have turntables, why you just don't get CDJs? He said, controller. And it was a Vestac 300, I would think, or something like that.
Okay.
Right? And it was sturdy, I tell you, sturdy, proper. And then he started to cut and scratch on that. I was like, what?
Oh, that was the one. That was the motorized one.
Yeah. No. That was some of the first controllers. No, okay. normal little controller, right? I was like, what? No. If you doing that with that, I'm gonna buy the same one. All right. I bought the same one.
Funny You're competitive enough, in the DJing, you know, Che. You're a little competitive in the DJing, you know.
All right. I went Belgium. And I had a DJ there called Scratchmaster J, I think it is his name, was a white guy. Bad. But because I was the outside DJ, I was the headline DJ, right? And I watching this brother, and I tell him myself, how am I gonna follow that? I can handle my stories, but I ain't no scratch DJ like that, you know what I mean? Yeah, so when I pull out and I start to set up, I can see watching me like, well, he's a toy DJ, because I pull out the controller, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a son. So I wait his last song play. I let play all the way out. I wait like 5 seconds.
Dead
Put on the mic and I started talking whatever I say. I introduced myself. And I had my first song lined up. I said, I don't know, first time in Belgium, so I don't know how you guys roll.
Yeah.
And I played the first song, was a biggie. Crowd just started to jump. That was it. That's all I needed. That was it. So my basic little scratching and cutting, well, I could cut, but my basic little scratching and thing, the guy watched me halfway through my set and go, all right.
Yeah.
All right.
Respect.
But yeah, that was the first controller I ever bought. Because I bought Serato in 2006 or 2007 around there. Only because I brought Ireland the Atman up. And he was using Serato. And I didn't have Serato. I was still using CDs, right? So I bought Serato so he could be able to use the Serato. And that is how it took me like a year, because I didn't give it back. I was actually going to return it after the event. But I kept it, and I kept, whatever. And that's how I started on Serato, because I bought it for Ireland, the Atman to use.
Shout out to Ireland, yeah.
I'm a boy, yeah.
There's another turntable is there too, yeah.
Even him with the 1000s, he used to be like, "Che, well, you have to lend me these to take home." And you know me, but I cool. Yeah, go ahead, man.
Go ahead.
Right? Because it's not everybody I'll do that too. Ireland, London, that kind of people, yeah.
Yeah.
Right? No, any DJ coming in or anybody. Let me then be like, no. But yeah.
So
10 days.
So the technical question is going through all of that and following that trade, that craft through those machines and innovations, right? What are your thoughts about now in terms of the I guess production too, but about the whole DJing culture? What are the things that you that you like, and some of the things that you wish were still like a part of the craft that you think are missing?
Well, I can't really talk about Trinidad or even the Caribbean to that extent. But with over here,
in your
I think
experience,
now,
of course,
I think now, because even when I mix it now, people will say, "Oh, you real old school," because of how I will ride a rhythm, right? Even though I'm using stems and stuff, I'll still ride a rhythm, right? I'm not going to give up my hours the way I learned.
Yeah.
Right? I will tell a DJ now, right? I say, if you could take 2 songs that were recorded live with a live band and mix that for more than 30 seconds, 40 seconds, without it going out of beat, right? I will rate you. Yeah, I could do that. I was like, go ahead and try it. I said, because when you record a live band, melodies and everything is like this. It's like a roller coaster, right? Nothing is level like a digital recorded song, right? Everything is like this. It's a wave. And if you could hold a mix like that, I will rate you.
Yeah.
Right? Forget about using sync buttons and that. I mean, if you want, I have no issue with somebody using a sync button. That's part of the technology now.
Yeah.
Right? If we could use it to improve, or not improve, but enhance what you're doing, go ahead. That's what it's there for. Right? I'm glad there's key lock now, because then if I want to go to a +5 on the pitch, I could go to a +5 and I know it's not going to change the key or how the vocal sounds, right? But I ain't going past that +5. That's for sure, right? But the technology is there for you to use, I think, the way you see the right way to use it, not what you think other people doing to follow other people. You have to find your own groove. You know what I mean? You have to find your own groove. And I guess if you learn to DJ, not even from as far back as me, but far enough where maybe you knew what a record was, or you knew what a CDJ was, as in the old days, right? Before the CDJ 1000 I'm talking about, when CDs now started learning, people now starting to use CDs.
Yeah.
If from then, you still have to use that air of, right, making sure things not too fast, keeping the melody good, making sure, and that's the next thing. Choosing the record. You don't choose a song to mix into a song because it's the same speed, right? You choose a song to mix in because of the melody. That's for me as the melody, and making sure I could get a conversation going with those two things, right? Because, like, for instance, that what I was saying about the mix with the Fayan song this year and Shadow Horning. I ride that rhythm for a good 30 seconds with the loop of horning, but that rhythm just there, right? And all it was a recorded show.
Thing either.
All it was a recorded show. The engineer in the station called me. He said, "Yo, people messaging the message board going crazy because some of them things they're doing there. He know the name of the artist, but that mix with that so and so and so and so, right? But it's good. And the good thing about our radio station, we have affiliates like in Kenya with Homeboys Radio, which is one of the biggest urban radio stations there. 1057 in Ghana, another big urban radio station there, right? So Rubber's Dancehall 360 goes out in Kenya. My soca show used to go out before COVID in Kenya. Funny story about that. I'll come back to that quick. Right? Used to go out. So we have a big international, especially Africa. Right? We have a very big listening audience because we have a lot of affiliates out there who push our shows out there, right? Kenya. I don't know if you remember, just after COVID, so it might have been late 20, maybe 21, Marshall went to Kenya for a big music festival. Right? The promoters of that festival contacted our station, right? Because that time my show was going out on Homeboys, right? My soca show used to go out on Homeboys Radio in Kenya. Contacted our station to get in contact with me to book Marshall, right? So I was like, me? I was like, how the hell that happened? They get the cheese mixed up. Right? So when they made the inquiries and they had Marshall manager was Che.
It had to be you because you doing the soca show and the this and the that. Right, we were just called Che.
Right. But that was one of the funny stories ever. When I had interviewed a lady when she launched the book, and I gave her that story, she couldn't stop laughing. She just could not stop laughing. You know what I mean? But even with that, if you remember when Marshall launched alternative concept, is I launched that film, right? That whole concept and the how the flyer was a cube and everything, all in marketing about that was me. I don't know if you remember, that was 2003.
No, boy.
Right? I get stick for that. People was like, yo, even Siggy was like, why are you doing that? Because that's when I took committee members to that. So I had Jules and his committee. I had Troublemakers and their committee. I had was that committee from South. So people were kind of annoyed that I took the small event thing, committee style thing, to a big event like that. You know what I mean? Why are you giving that to Marshall and it was Roy Maraj at the time? Why are you giving that to Marshall and Roy? You're giving them access to things they shouldn't have access to and this and that. That will never work. Never work.
And look what happened.
150,000. 15,000 plus in O.U.R. Right?
Boy, that shut down the country that night, you know. That Saturday.
Things were sticky with that shit. I used to be getting calls 2-3 o'clock in the morning
from live in Carnage, so
I used to get random calls from people I don't know. You sure you want to do that show? You really sure you want to do that show? Threatening without threatening kind of thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, Mad. But yeah, I did the first two with Marshall, and that was it. I ride out.
Nice.
I ride out after that. But I look like turning into the monster that was
boy.
Marshall Monday.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, they had to change the day because that first one was on the same Saturday night. It was a Saturday night, right? Alternative concert.
Yeah, the first one was and that is why I get sick too, right? Because it was Brass Fest.
Yeah, Brass Fest was the thing.
Ironically, that was actually the last Brass Fest after that too. Right? I would say we pulled the crowd from it. It did affect it. I know it would have affected it, but not in no major way like that. Right? Because people were saying, oh, why are you going to hear a man sing? Is a concert. Well, a concert will never work in Carnival. It's a fete. You have to band, because band playing everybody music.
Yeah.
Right? Band playing the top 15 songs of the season.
Yeah.
Right? So they were like, that'll never work, and this and that, and concert, and yeah. So I was blessed to be part of a lot of things that turn things around in a big way.
Yeah, to their credit, Ecstatic was at the forefront of a lot of innovation in soca music. A lot of things that are commonplace today, like that same thing, singing your own songs exclusively. That was Marshall Montano and Ecstatic. Tune into Tune is the next thing that they started, because all the bands used to stop in between songs and a little talk, a little banter and things.
Yeah.
That flow from one tune transitioning into the next. Yeah,
the sampler man. Back then they call it the sampler man. You know what I mean?
Doing all of that.
Going back to Ecstatic. Doing things differently. If you remember in that same Fernandez compound, the event, right? Because it was Rentam doing the PA and stuff like that. And that, if you remember, the wires were all over the normal thing. The wires were all over the stage and whatever. And I went to, it was 14, right? I went to 14. I was like, yo, you can't have them things. So, cause I coming from London, so you know me, after working on things, I know how things are supposed to be, health and safety, right? But that's how we do things. Like, about 14 didn't like me at first. 14, I ended up being really good after, right? But at the beginning, it was a love-hate relationship, right? Yeah. It's like, I was like, yo, them wires can't be there. Where we put it? I said, what do you think they are truss for? They have to run them wire along them truss.
Why they had this big truss inside?
Right. Hey, yeah, but men had to climb up. I was like,
somebody had to climb up. It's better somebody climb up than somebody truss.
That they were doing, and they know I was involved. After that, the first question they asked, whether it was Roy or whoever, who running a chair? They said, who running that chair? Because they know I will walk in and say, yo,
that had to change.
Nah. Right? That whole backstage VIP and artist this and artist that is with Signal. That started, me and Signal started that when we did Sean Paul, and then we did like the hospitality. People spoke to see the hospitality backstage. It was like, what? Because I bring in that from here. That is what I know. You know what I mean?
Well, that is now your standard.
Right, so a lot of changes that happened. I can say I was either totally responsible for, or part of, or an idea I give somebody. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Woo. So
is that done?
Yeah. No. We good. We could talk. No, we recording it. But what I want to say is, actually, we should wrap it here, because we're going into our next show that they need to prepare for. I'm coming up just now. But it was real good. I'm glad I get this chance to talk to you. It's a little earlier.
Thanks for the chance, man.
A little earlier than I anticipated. But my idea is that as we going into Carnival and we getting ready for it, I want to talk to people who had a hand in pivotal things, who have a strong history, and a strong connection with the showbiz side of it. I ain't too much want to talk about the music per se. There are enough people talking about the music. But I really wanted to get your your input as somebody who came up through the ranks of this thing. Somebody who's very close to the culture and made an impact.
Yeah.
Your name does still call, and if you when you go
I
back
hope it's in a good way.
no, in a good way. When we go through this interview in a year, 2 years, and hear the names that call is real, the real pioneers and the real stalwarts and exemplary practitioners who are your contemporaries.
If you don't learn anything from your predecessors, people you look up to growing up, or you know what I mean. I've always been into sound, right? Not a sound system, but into sound.
Yeah.
And what turned me on to that was back in the days with Kyle and Carol Jacobs. At them and Byron Lee and the Dragonaires, the sound of their band, the sound was incredible. As a youth, 14 years, 15 years, why I in a fet at that age is a different story. But
let me not talk about that.
I used to be mesmerized by the sound I'm hearing.
Yeah.
The clarity of this sound.
And that is and a testament to that, as you say, Byron Lee, they had their own stage. Byron Lee had their own stage set up apart from the
Uncle Byron used to bring his own equipment in.
Yeah. Such was their commitment to providing good sound.
Yeah. And I was growing up, I used to teach speakers out of TV and make box and thing. Right? But
I'm sure your parents enjoyed that.
Boy, my grandfather, right, bought a brand new Sony Trinitron color TV.
Lord of mercy.
Mr. Che Leonard decided that's something good. Open up the man television, took out the speaker, took a carry box and make a box. A friend of ours, a family, family, used to run, can't remember the name of the photo studio at the time. Chung's photo studio. And they used to do small sound stuff as well, right? Tweeter and add tweeters. And he said, give me the tweeters. Guy young, Go ahead, man, take it.
You can't do too much damage with that tweeter. I
build a miniature box of what I used to see as a big DJ, right? My grandfather wanted to know, why is he ain't getting no sound from this television? Send it back. They gave him a new one. Without even opening it, they gave him a new one.
Yeah.
What you do?
Take the speaker out again. Like 2 speakers.
See an opportunity to make a double 15 miniature.
It's an Xbox, so I mean, what else you do?
Same thing how he sent it back. So they opened that one that time and they see the speaker going. He didn't have to ask anything. He knew exactly who was responsible.
He said, all right, I know exactly what happened.
I didn't get licks, but because he was somebody who used to spoil man, do this and do that.
Right.
I ain't getting nothing. He blanked me for a good 2 months. Which was worse than getting licks.
Yeah. The absence of the love. Yeah.
And I was what? 9, 10, somewhere around there, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I was doing that madness, I'm young.
You was destined to be where you are now, boy. That is for sure. So thank you very much for taking the time
Thanks for having me, man. Thanks for having
talking to me. Also, I have to make you aware, this is outer national, boss, and you just do your outer view. So
thank you.
Whenever you're back home,
it's the inter.
Whenever we will do the interview, just
but
we'll be in touch
before we lock off. I have to big up my boy MIXX, man. Seriously.
Yeah. Skipper.
Yeah, I have to big up my boy MIXX.
Yeah.
What is brother doing? Because he can tell his bother him every so often. Because he wanna do my urban show. I try to promote Caribbean urban as well.
Right.
So I'll always bother him, when I listen and I hear something new, I'll be like, hook me up with that now. Whether it's a dance or whether it's a hip hop, whether it's a R&B or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I always try to promote anything Caribbean, right? So sometimes Rampage, who's on one extra now, might hear stuff I play and be like, yo, Chick, that's a MIXX is. How much a MIXX song I give them because they're like, yo, that bad, send it to me. And they will play. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that is my little...
That's good. You're not a gatekeeper in any way.
No. It's not just about, I said, it's not just about calypso and soca and mass and anything. Culture, anything, any artist, if you sing in R&B, hip hop, whatever it is, if I could push that, I will push it because it's coming from a place, you know.
And testament to that is from Sunday, giving the man love. So you know it's not, you know we're not making it up. He really playing the music. He really pushing the vibes and mixing it too, not just the top 10 and this and that. You know, you really
I don't believe in that top 10 thing.
Yeah, I just don't. You're really intimate enough with the music to make a nice cross section in a mix, and I enjoy what you do. I appreciate who you are in my life and the contribution you have made in the culture.
Thank you very much.
Che, so when you're down here, we go knock our glass and we'll have a bit more controversial talk, because I want to talk about soca rhythms, but no, I ain't go finish that in an hour. So yeah, thank you for joining us.
You open up a can of worms there that
I feel I know what your position on that would be. But
I was pro that in the beginning.
Yes, we done start
before it started, I was pro that. Yeah, because I actually documented saying that, because just, I don't know if we have enough time, but just quickly, the show we used to do on BBC was nominated and shortlisted, more importantly, shortlisted for what they call a REMA Awards, a Racing Media Awards, a Sony Racing Media Awards. Right. This is back in 1999, 2000. Right? And shortlisted mean you're going up against 2 or 3 other people to get the award.
Okay.
Right? And it was 3. It was us, So Calypso Review Show, the Dream Team, DJ Spoonie and them guys from Radio 1, and David Rodigan. So check the 2 names. Yeah. This little Calypso show went up against as a shortlisted awardee, right? After that, the producer of the show came and we spoke and whatever, and we ended up getting a special to film for BBC 2 television,
right? Which
we did the following year, and I came down and we did filming that year and stuff like that. So the whole carnival went into the mass bands and blah, blah, blah. But anyway, that year, Martin Raymond and Francis Eskai had a rhythm called is it the Black Jet rhythm or the Jet Sting rhythm or something like that? It was just an instrumental rhythm.
Yeah.
Right? And it have me on camera. And I said it then and I'll stick by it. By that time I meant it. That I said soca should try and emulate dancehall in the sense of a rhythm to give younger artists a chance to get the airplay, because if the rhythm big, everybody will flow with that rhythm, right? Yeah. I said that was in 2000, I said that, or 99 or 2000, I said that, right? Back then I was very, very pro rhythm because younger artists wasn't getting anyway.
Yeah.
You're right. And it's still that way a little bit this year. I don't know how it is now because I'm not around as much as I used to be. But back then, a new or younger artist wasn't getting that wasn't getting played if there wasn't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If the song was really big. So I was very pro rhythm then to give a younger artist or another artist a chance. And on a big rhythm, everybody flew with that rhythm.
Yeah.
You know? But now, nah. But if you listen to my show, I will never play a whole rhythm. I might play 2 songs out of the rhythm, or maybe 3, all right, out of a rhythm. I will never run a whole rhythm, 5, 6, no. Because somebody listens to my radio says, but why are they playing that song so long? Who don't know what soca is?
Yeah,
you know,
and what I mean? Tell it's different songs.
Yeah, right? And I don't do it. I don't like it now, to be honest. I really don't, because it has, and now you look at Jamaica, you don't get rhythms like that now anymore.
Yeah.
right? They've gone away from that. They get one or two every so often or whatever, but they've gone away from that formula because it don't work. And yeah, this is a different.
Personally, I think it taken away from the creativity, the overall creativity. Now I'll record this and I'll put it as an extra clip or whatever because we don't. I think we almost on 2 hours anyway. So I'll go clip it up.
I think, and the other thing too, soca artists need to support a little more. You know what I mean? I stopped calling soca artists for interview. Right? I stopped calling soca. I had this conversation with MIXX a couple of years ago. I called a certain artist just at the end of 2020 after COVID kind of thing to do an interview. And the person said to me, because if I say he or she, you will know is a male or a female. And the person said to me, nah, I ain't doing nothing, you know. I know new music, time, nothing happening, so you don't need to do any. I was like, what? I was like, you can't be saying that. Yeah, radio irrelevant too now. I was like, Annalise. As I listen, I said, I don't know about Trinidad or even the Caribbean to the extent. I said, but you're kind of wrong there with that radio thing, irrelevant, yeah? I said, no. I said, urban artists, dancehall artists, we don't have to call them. I say Afrobeat artists, we don't have to call them. We will get an email. This artist is here. Could you put a slot for interviews? They'll come to the station and they'll do an interview with 2 or 3 different shows because it's different listening audience.
Right, yeah.
Right? They understand that. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
They understand that. My listening audience wouldn't be the same to your listening audience, although we're on the same station.
Yeah, different shows.
What I mean?
Different shows will have different.
And I'm trying to explain this to the person. I was like, yo, and I tell you, he's one of the top artists here, like top tier artists I'm talking about. I was like, yo, and I kind of get annoyed at what they were saying. I said, listen, I'm going to tell you something. So that was like year 3 or so into Shensia coming out, right? I said, let me tell you something. I said, you take the top 10, no, I didn't say the top 10, I said the top 5 soca artists. I said 6 or 7 if you want, but take all of your social media followers and add it. You would not even get half of what Shensia is now. And she's 3 years out as an artist.
Right.
Oh, you can't say that because you know them dancehall artists and them that's why you get interviews. I was like, but I know you. So what's your point? I know you. We go way back. When I used to come to Trinidad, you used to make sure and find me to give me your record or CD to play in London on radio. Right? So you know me. Can't be telling me that. Right? And after that, I say, you know what? I call another artist. I call the manager. And the person said to me, I don't manage them anymore, you know, Trey. Call them director. I said, all right, cool. Oh, you have to email our manager in new manager in the States. So I did. Who are you? What do you do? Send us a bio. I was like, well, I didn't bother to do that either.
Right.
And that was then. And I just say, you know what? I'm not asking no soca artist for an interview. None. Right? When I do my urban show, I do TikTok live when I do my show live, right?
Okay.
Busted is beyond there. At first I thought that's just somebody who doing his social media, just passing through on the TikTok live. So when I see him for proof of life, I'll jump on the mic and say, hey, you know, look who on the live, Buster Rhymes or whatever. And he started interacting on the TikTok live. Buster, Jada Kiss, Fat Joe, obviously Shensia, Sean Paul, because I know them good, right? Mariah Carey, all these artists passing through, or whoever handling the social media passing through. And then the next part, the day half an hour, 45 minutes, right? The hip hop artists will interact with me because I'll bring them up and I'll play the music, right? And I think there's my little soca artists don't even repost a story from Instagram, or even check out the story on Instagram because they get targeted. You so big? Why? And that is the part of the industry I don't like at all. At all.
Yeah, well, that is definitely something we will talk about when you're here in person.
Yeah.
Because we have a few technical things and a few political things to deal with. But once again, thanks for giving us your time, giving us this in-depth interview. I really enjoy putting things together and hearing these stories. And I know there's a lot more to come. So we'll link up. Like I say, we'll bounce a glass. I'll clip up that last probably 10-15 minutes and just put it on as a bonus. So we good for the episode. So thanks again, bro.
Thank you.